You are tuning in to John, Pierre, and Mary's fun-loving, crazy, and honest podcast.
If it don't smell bad, it must be clean.
Unequally Yoked, where any and every topic, life,
marriage.
I'll go first because I have something to say.
Uh-oh.
Kids and entrepreneurship are up for discussion.
How does Mary, a pastor's daughter,
and John, a guy who rarely saw the inside of a church growing up, get together and stay together.
We all have roles.
What does life look like 10 plus years into marriage?
2 kids and trying to run a family business.
How do we keep this nest egg from cracking?
What you mean?
Listen in to Unequally Yoked as we dive in to give a man
next and woman's perspective.
Somebody back me up on this.
To all the topics married folks are talking about.
Are you ready?
Let's do this, boo. Hey guys, welcome back to episode 8 of Unequally Yoked with John, Pierre, and Mary.
We are here.
We're back and we're by ourselves. Last time we had our friends with us, which we had so much fun with them.
We did. It was a good time.
Now it feels like we have more room in here.
Definitely more room.
But
it was good to have guests.
I feel like you're really far away from me.
Oh, should I scoot over? Let's scoot over. Come closer to us.
There we go.
Let's
yes, there we go.
Better.
So we want to thank you guys for tuning in again and hit us up on our social media, Mary TJP,
John Pierre TJP,
and also thank you guys for subscribing to our YouTube. And if you continue to share, those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll have some really fun news coming up really soon, and we want to share it with you guys.
We will keep you updated, keep you informed.
Yes. So I thought you was going to say something about my hoodie.
I mean, it looks good. What's wrong? What's going on with the hoodie?
I'm cold.
Oh, you're cold. What?
Yeah.
I feel good.
It
feels good here.
It's super cold.
Okay.
And it's cold in this house.
Trying to run up my light bill.
Obviously, we're not running up your light bill. It's cold outside and you don't have the heat on.
It is cold out there.
I told y'all, listen, the reason why I didn't do the video portion of it in the beginning when we first started the podcast, because I'm like, I can't be made up every day. That's not real life.
Me either.
Well, I'm pretty certain you probably have worn this already.
I probably have.
So, I mean, which is fine. But I had on black pants first, though.
And
I got dressed first.
That's true.
He's trying to dress like me.
That's
He's trying to dress
right
like
there.
me.
True love.
But I can't. I gave y'all eyebrows and lashes today. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Nope.
Well, I have coffee this morning. No champagne, just coffee. And that's fine.
That's enough. That's all it takes.
So last time, John, when we were with Bridget and Sean, we were talking about being unequally yoked and raising children.
Yes.
And it kind of segued into like our backgrounds.
Right.
And when we say backgrounds, like our upbringing, like Sean was talking about his mom and how she was a single mom and all the things that she did. She was the rock star. Like
he was like she was the best mom ever.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody say that. Well, I don't say anybody. I don't hear most people when they talk about their childhood and how they were brought up. It's very rare that I hear someone say that it was good. And he didn't say it was good. He just said his mom was the best ever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I've heard people say that before, but there is definitely conviction in his voice. Like
he believes it.
He's 100% certain.
But
that's good.
But it's not like everything was like so perfect.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's why I was like, wow, that's really amazing, because a lot of us, like myself, the upbringing wasn't perfect.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, but sometimes it's like I don't want to say we blame our parents.
Oh no, we blame of course we blame our parents.
Do.
Oh yeah, we definitely blame our parents. It's always our parents' fault too. We figure out that's really just us, or you don't figure it out and then you just have the same problems. But I think it's definitely a good thing to know that most of us we all take our positives and our negatives from our parents, assuming that we have them. Mm-hmm. So it's just good to see the conviction that he has and that he really enjoyed. And not enjoy, that's not the right word. He really valued what his mother brought to the table, and that's cool.
Yeah. So that's what we want to talk about today. We want to talk about how much of our own personal like own personal journey, our childhood, like how it was for you growing up and how it was for me growing up, which again is why we're unequally yoked because we have two completely
two totally different experiences,
but somehow, you know, we still like each other.
Somehow we are still here.
Somehow.
And hopefully our kids get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. So let's talk about really quick. I know y'all are going to kill me. We've been talking about the same homework, I think, for the past 3 episodes, creating our mission statement.
Yes.
I just want to say, we kind of scratched that. We didn't create the mission statement. However, we did create... I have a surprise for John.
All right.
He didn't know this.
Okay.
And we'll pop it up on the screen because disclaimer, it did not get delivered in time. So instead of doing our mission statement,
yes,
I created, along with some assistants,
mm-hmm.
we'll give him a shout out. Eric helped me
mm-hmm.
create our core values.
Oh, cool.
And he put it on the sign for us so that, you know, the kids will be able to see it as they grow.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Wow.
You love it? And we'll put it on the screen for you guys to see. So designed by one creative in Houston, Texas. Thank you, Eric. It has Chon Yu Pen, which
Shout
is
out.
our last name.
Yep.
And it has Chon Yu Pen family values. And it's all the things that
That's
John and I talked about.
Wow.
And what we want for our kids. You want to read it?
That is so cool.
You like it?
That's really cool.
Sorry, it's not here. I wanted it to be like a big surprise, and now it's like, wah, wah.
No, it's still awesome.
It just didn't get delivered in time from the carrier.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. So it says, Chon Yu Pen, family values, dream big, be great, have faith, work hard and never give up, love and support one another, respect yourself, have self-awareness, be grateful and not entitled. Well, that's a big one. Mm-hmm. And give generously and pay it forward. That is freaking cool.
You love it,
man. That's awesome. That's better than a mission statement. That's everything right there.
And that's like it seemed like it was challenged for us because we kept finding like these things. Like we kept asking each other, like, what do we want for them? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we're dreamers. We're living in our truth and you know, in pursuit of our dreams.
Right.
Like that's what I would think a lot of parents want for their kids.
Yeah, I think that's, first of all, that really was a surprise, y'all. In case y'all, that's really cool. So good, man. High fives. High fives all around.
Okay.
Kiss.
That
was
we're
fantastic.
Not homies. Like
we're not homies.
I mean, we're
we
friends.
We don't have a handshake.
No, but I did one with Harper. Do you want in on it?
Let me see.
Okay, wait. I forgot what it is. It's like because she's always saying deal.
Pinky swear. Yeah.
So we do this. Well, I forgot. She probably had to. Okay, and then I think it was a bump. It was something else. So
in my referee game, when I'm refereeing basketball games, every time the kids get introduced, they always have their individual handshakes.
Oh yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we need to make a family handshake.
Hey, we just got our core values. Now we gotta do a family handshake.
We got move on to the next thing, man.
The pressure, all these things. So we have now completed. Our
homework.
Look at God.
Bam, 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 bam.
DJ Horn for the look at God. There it is.
Look, won't he Willie?
Won't he Willie?
Won't he do it?
Yes, he will. Who is he? Who is he? Inside joke. Love Dion Cole. Please watch it. I think it's on Netflix, right?
Yes, it is.
Freaking hilarious. So I'll let you start, John, because
all right.
When I met you and when I walked into your apartment the first time that I was invited over,
you
made me watch 13th Warrior.
One of the best movies of all time.
Probably not. Nobody's seen this
Antonio
movie.
Banderas.
Here we go. I walk into John's apartment. First of all, it was very clean-ish.
I was about to say,
how you live now. Anyway, we don't want to throw you all the way under the bus, John.
I mean, I think people expect it now.
Would they expect you to
that I must live like a sloth?
Okay, so walk into your place.
Yes,
and love this apartment complex, by the way. And we actually kind of pass it up almost every other day.
Yeah, we do.
Your apartment complex?
Oh yeah.
And it had like a whole wall of bookshelves.
Yes.
And on the shelves were like all these pictures and books. I'm like, wow, he can read. Like that.
He can read.
He can, you know, that's fundamental.
It's fundamental.
It's
very important.
It's very important, women and men's out there.
In the world. Just everyone.
Find you a person who can read.
Yes.
Okay. And I walk up to the bookshelves and I'm just like, wow, he's got all these picture frames, but he didn't change out
the pictures.
The pictures.
And why did you think that?
Because it was a whole bunch of black people.
So,
or what is your mom? You're a lighter complexion.
Yes, lighter complected people.
Caucasian people. So then I'm just like, oh, okay, well maybe we got to get him some pictures to put in these frames. So then I'm just going along, keep looking, and then I look close and I see John, and then I see a man standing next to him, and I'm just like, huh, that can't be his dad. That's his daddy. Okay, then I was like, is this your family?
That's right. And
I love how you were silently waiting for it.
I was waiting for it because it looked fantastic because you know, it is definitely an awakening having, if you've never seen any of my family, then just looking at me.
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends. Some people would assume some sort of mixture in there, but a lot of people don't. Right?
When I met you, I just thought, I mean, you don't have hair.
Right.
Okay, so I don't know.
That's true, yeah.
I just thought you were just, you know, a light-skinned black dude. I thought you were just clear. You know what I'm saying?
Just clear?
Yeah, you know, why would I think? I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yes. So with all of that said, obviously.
So tell everybody, and maybe you can drop a picture in it too. Tell everybody what
my background is.
What your background is.
So my mother is white. My biological father is black. But
you say African American?
Yeah, African American.
He
he is African American. Yeah. So, and then, but my dad, the guy that raised me, he is from a country called Suriname, which is in South America, and there's a lot of mixtures of things down there. So on that side of the family, there's a lot of Dutch influence, Chinese influence. And then all kinds of stuff. So whenever you looked at those pictures, then what you saw was my dad, who kind of looks like me,
which is very interesting.
Right, he kind of looks like me.
But he looks more Asian.
Yeah,
and he has hair.
And he has hair. Yes, that helps too.
You don't have hair.
I don't have hair. I don't have hair. I can't even grow it anymore. That's okay. I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, there's my dad, who kind of looks like me. You have my mom, who's you know, Caucasian or white, and then my sister, who I just say she looks like Pocahontas. Like that's how she looks. And then my brother, who looks pretty much white. Like he looks pretty much white, and they are the offspring of my biological mom and my stepfather, who is my dad. And so when we all get together, so then when you bring in all the rest of the family, you know, you have on my mom's side, her uncles married Japanese women. Yeah. So I have Japanese cousins. On my dad's side, you know, they're obviously Surinamese and Dutch. They married other Dutch people and everything. So basically, between my family, we have a strong influence of South American people. We have a strong influence of European people. We have a strong influence of Japanese people, and then American people. So, and we also have 4 major languages spoken. So we have Dutch, Japanese, Portuguese, and English. So basically, when my family gets together, it looks like the United Nations. Right. That's essentially what it looks like.
Which is really cool. So growing up, you know, I think that's what also, there are so many different things that attracted me to you, but I love that you were pretty much raised by your grandparents too.
Oh yeah, they played a huge influence. Yeah, they played. Yeah, so I would spend every summer in a little town called West Plains, Missouri, and so you know that's where
on a farm. Yeah,
very small farm, but a farm nonetheless. Yeah. So I'd be out there mowing the lawn with the push mower.
That's torture.
With the 2-wheel push mower.
Wow.
And so that was great, you know. And so my aunts, my mom's sisters, you know, I just had a lot of good experience both in the city, growing up in Houston, and then also having the farm and small town feel that we had out there. So I really did in a cool way have had a lot of diversity and influence put in me from a young age. And so one of the cool stories that I remember whenever I was, whenever you are mixed or have multiple nationalities in your bloodstream, and then for me, in my case, I pretty much only grew up around my mom's family and then my dad's family, so I didn't really have a lot of African American influence per se.
That's why you've never watched New Jack City until you met me.
That's a false claim. No one should
when
believe that.
When did you watch New Jack City?
No one should ever believe that.
When did you? What about Five Heartbeats?
Now, Five Heartbeats, you didn't introduce me to that. And that movie, I understand that's like a staple, but no, that movie's like, it's okay. It's decent.
Unbelievable. John, it's a quotable.
It is, apparently, yes.
Wow. Yeah. I'm going to let you make it.
Let me make it. So, one of the things that was really, really cool to me was, there was this time where in my young adult, teenage life, 12, 13, somewhere in there, I was starting to recognize the fact that color is a thing, race is a thing. And so
that's 13, 14, that's when you realized race was a thing, color was a thing?
Well, not that I realized it, but that's whenever it really started playing in my mind. Interesting. I was made aware of it, but it just never really, it was nothing that really influenced me. I never thought about it, But at this point in time, I was kind of going through it. And so I walked into my aunt's house at the time, and they have three kids, and so they're all white. My aunt is white, her husband is white, and their 3 kids are white, obviously, because they're married. And so I walked in, and I made some comment. I was like, hey, do I look different to you guys? Right? And they all kind of stopped because the kids were all playing on the bed and everything, and they looked at me and they were like, no, you're just John. And then they went on, and they just went on. And so, I revisited that conversation a little bit later, but at that time, they just didn't even recognize, they didn't even put me in anything different. I was just John, and it's funny that I'm saying that now because we were listening to that podcast yesterday.
With Tommy Davidson.
Yeah, with Tommy Davidson.
And Breakfast Club.
Right, and how his family.
So for those of you who don't, because I watch The Breakfast Club, I listened to them, and with The Breakfast Club, he was talking about how of course everybody knows who Tommy Davidson is. Did you watch In Living Color, John?
Of course I did.
Okay, I just have to make sure. That's what he's famously known for, but right. I didn't know this, and he was raised by Caucasian people like you, and listened to a lot of his story, and it kind of mirrored
some of the things that he thought about. And so one of the things that he talked about in that podcast was how when he saw his family, he associated with like cats and dogs and animals.
And animals. I thought that was
which was really cool. I never thought about that.
Because he was like a colt could have, I get like a brown colt, a horse could have a white horse or a white and spotted horse. I just thought that was really cool.
Right.
Or the cat. What did he say about the cat?
He's like, so if you have a cat that's white and a cat that's black, you can have some cats that come out
gray.
Gray, and some that come out black and some that come out white. And so he was just like, so I just assumed that was my family. Like I just came out like the cats. I just came out a different color.
I was really blown away.
Man, that was amazing. That was really cool.
But it goes to show you that those things, like if it's not introduced to you, just like how it wasn't really discussed.
Yep.
Like it was never discussed with you that you're different. You're just John.
Right.
You're just a part of this family. There's nothing different about you. Whereas my early memory, I don't recall like my parents being like, we black. Which, by the way, I don't have no white. We black in my family. Like that's it. What you all lying about?
Look, man, we're not gonna get into all that. But
I'm not saying we're getting. All I'm saying, I'm just comparing our backgrounds.
Yes.
That you come from a very multicultural family. You call them the United Nations, and all I'm saying is, when I did my 23andMe, and when you did your 23andMe,
did you do your 23andMe?
Oh, my mom did 23andMe.
Yeah, you haven't done it yet.
But it's gonna be. Blast.
Negative. It is not going to be. You're going to find so many things in there. That's a false statement.
Okay, how about I do it? I will do it. My mom did it.
Yes.
And surprisingly, she had like a really high, like 30% Nigerian, but it was mainly like, Nigerian Guyanan, but she had a lot of, so you're right. She did have some, European. I forgot about that,
yes,
European.
Exactly.
But my markers could be different.
They're going to be different, but they're going to share some of hers.
Your 23andMe was so interesting because it was
pretty much half and
half.
Yeah,
it was like 48% and
yeah.
50. That was pretty
cool.
Unbelievable.
It was pretty cool. I think it's something people should do just to know where your ancestry lies. It's not necessarily where you come from, but it's where your ancestry lies, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, but I brought it up just to compare that again, that you have just a different my early memory. Mm-hmm. You said yours was at 13, 14.
Yeah, in terms of dealing with race, yeah.
I have a memory from, I think I had to have been, and I always associate time from when my parents divorced when I was in the third grade. Mm-hmm. So they were still together. So it had to be that summer going into my third grade year.
Okay.
Because that was the only time I rode my bike to the library.
So you'd been like, what, 8?
So I was 7.
Okay.
If I had made 7 at that point, because my birthday is in the summer.
Yeah.
And I remember visiting, I stopped by one of my friend's house on the way to the library. Did I tell you this story?
No, I don't know.
Really?
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Okay. Well, I remember stopping at her house, ringing the doorbell, and somebody came out, and I, asked for her if she was home, which is kind of cute because that's what Harper and her friends do. They ring the doorbell. Is Harper home? And I don't know. I guess I had to say this on the podcast, but I heard them yell her name.
N-word? Yeah.
And there's some,
N-word at the
N-word outside,
yeah.
And I don't know why. Like, I don't remember ever hearing that word before, but I knew it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And it hurt my feelings. And I remember hurry up and getting on my bike and just riding to the library and just like in tears.
Yeah.
You're going to cry?
Oh, no, I'm not going to cry.
Your eyes are watering. I would say that's very touching. Did you yawn? Like, what?
I don't know. I think
you were holding back a yawn?
I held back a yawn.
Wow. So yeah, and I feel like from that moment on, it's like I knew that I was different. And growing up in Slidell, Louisiana, it was made apparent that we were different. In elementary, there were five or six black kids, and the rest of them were white. And they put us all in like what they deemed to be
the special,
slow or special classes. And they used to call them slow. And, we were definitely made to be less than. And they put us in the back of the room, and they would let us participate. So it's like the way that it was introduced to me is completely different than how it's introduced to you. Yeah,
and I think that's and I think that's a big deal in terms of like how it influences you as you go forward. Because for me, and that's something that we talk about a lot. I think that we talk about this subject quite often, just about how for me, race it's just not a thing. Like it's just I don't. I wasn't raised to be different. I was just raised to be unique, and so it wasn't about the color of your skin as much as it was about the content of your character. And I almost sound like Martin Luther King in a way, but that's something that my grandmother was really big on. She's like, we talked about that, like just be a good person.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. All the other stuff doesn't really matter. Yeah. You're going to have to deal with that. And they did, my family did a good job of making me aware of it after that, because once I started coming to that realization, I started thinking back. Yeah, and I started thinking back about things that happened in my younger life and how there could have been race involved and things like that. But overall, it was just about you have to be unique. You are unique, and you are who you are, and so there's not I don't know how to say it, but basically, they just made it known that you are unique. And everyone around you is unique, but it's not because of their skin color, right? And so you just have to be you and be a good person, and everything else will kind of work itself out. Yeah, I mean, and that's now what we're talking about for our kids. Yeah, just teaching them, which is why we wanted to do the mission statements or like the core values, like our family values, because it's like we really do feel like
it can be enough. Like, it is enough to just be a good person.
Yeah.
And however, I'm on the other side because the blinders have been removed from me, and I just was raised differently.
Yeah.
And when I say raised, like, my parents didn't. They definitely made us aware, but I almost feel like, I don't know if, I don't want to say it cripples you, but I like being aware. I like having awareness, and awareness can also be, for a mom, fearful. Like, and especially now that I have kids, and my kids and their hair, and both of them are.
Oh yeah, like you don't like
one looks like
yeah.
you, and one looks like me,
Yeah.
as far as skin color, and so I struggle with trying to not put my fears on my kids, and all the things, the experiences that I had growing up, like throwing that onto them.
Yeah, I mean, and that's hard to do because I think one of the things we all try to work towards is giving our kids a life better than ours.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, in doing that, we're trying to protect them from things that have not occurred, that haven't happened to them. So we're trying to protect them from things, and we influence them in ways where they're like, but they don't necessarily know it at this point, especially for our kids because they're only 4 and 2. But we're giving them things that may not ever even happen in their lives just because it happened to us, and we're trying to protect them from it.
Yeah, but I still feel very strongly about teaching your kids some self-awareness. Like, we've never talked to them about any kind of race up until this point. I mean, they're 4 and 2.
Yeah.
So when are you supposed to introduce that?
I think you introduce it whenever they introduce it. Like, there's no need to introduce it before them because it's not a thing for them. So
I don't know. I feel like I don't think that, which I really love that our kids are in a very diverse school.
Yeah, that's cool.
So they see everybody.
Yeah, which is great.
But last week Harper asked me to put her hair in a snake.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, what? And that girl was mad. But you ended up doing it because I didn't know what a snake was.
Right.
But it ended up being a braid.
Right. She wanted a ponytail.
She wanted a ponytail, and she wanted a snake, meaning a braid.
A braided ponytail,
or a plait, or she calls it a twist now because her friend Mackenzie and her friend Danica, she's like, put it in the snake like Danica. And I'm just like, I don't know what Danica's hair look like, right? But it's I feel like she's noticing things like differences like in her hair. Yeah. And so I don't know. It kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Oh, did it? I didn't know that. You should have told me. I didn't realize that. Yeah. No. She's gonna recognize their differences. But I think that's just part of life. There's nothing wrong with recognizing that you're different and that you're unique.
But how do you say yes? You are different and you're unique, but you are great in your uniqueness. Like, you guys' hair is different. But look, it's same. I always tell the same. Like. Yeah. Your hair can go into a snake just like Danica's hair can go into a snake. Yeah. Or Mackenzie's hair can go into a snake.
I don't know that that's something that we have to say to them. I think it's more the way that we treat them. If we treat them like they're special, they will be special. I have another saying. Are you ready for this saying?
Here we go.
All right. This is the last saying for this episode.
Oh, he cleared his throat.
Yeah. So we treat, I think of kids kind of like, they're this really unique thing. If you treat kids like gold, not only will they be gold, but they will manufacture gold. Ooh. They will spread gold.
Ooh, where you got that from?
I made it up. I'm telling you.
Come on.
Yeah. So if you treat them like gold, not only will they be gold, but they will spread it. They will produce it. Right? If you treat them like trash, not only will they be trash, but they will also spread it. Right? And so I think kids are like this unbelievable organism that not only do they become what you make them, they will proliferate it. They will spread it out, And so because going back to your question, it's not something that you have to say, it's something that you have to do as a parent. You have to treat them the way that you want them to treat the world because that's what they will do. Yeah. And so I think if we just make sure that we're always telling her that she's unique and special and all those kind of things, then she will produce it. Like, she will be special, and people will see it in her, and it will magnify.
And it won't matter that her hair is different.
Right, it won't matter because people won't recognize her they'll recognize her for her beauty because she's going to be beautiful. And Grayson too is going to be extremely handsome. So it's like that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, Mom.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, that's what I think where we're at. So you treat your kids how you want them to see themselves and how you want them to produce in the world.
Okay. Well, we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to continue this on our next podcast.
Yeah, we
which,
talked
by
about
the way, will be our finale.
Burr, 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 burr.
Yeah, like 3 DJ horns. Probably because I'm not drinking this time. And we say it's our finale because John and I are going to start filming soon. Which, by the way, thank you guys so much for passing on the casting call.
Oh yeah, that too.
Flyer and information, and we're almost to the end of it. So I want to say this is the last call for the casting call. So if you guys know anyone or yourselves who looking to sell a home, to buy a fixer-upper, hit us up. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode number 8 of Unequally Yoked. We don't have any homework this time around because I think we're just going to continue this conversation because the last episode is our finale.
It is our finale. And so I think it'll be very, it'll make a lot of sense to end that finale with hearing more about your background and how you were raised. And then also, just kind of get ourselves ready for this next phase of what life will bring. Right. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Like Mary said, our hashtags again. I mean, our Instagram. What all of our following,
our
Twitter
social
stuff.
media.
Yep.
I'm Mary TJP.
I'm John Pierre TJP. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Harper Rain Homes, and we will see you guys in a few minutes.
Stay tuned.
Or in a week. We'll see when we drop this one. I don't know. Bye.